Welcome to a Go Handmade tutorial. We're going to be looking at the teddy basket today and all the fantastic details that it has. For example, this pom-pom on the end, we'll show you how to make that. It's made of the PU leather base, and of course you have the face details. You can find all the information in the pattern. It's online. You just go to Go Handmade and you can download it there in various languages. Now, you'll need a PU leather base. I'm going to be using a gray one here. Some safety eyes. These are 10mm. And of course we have our happy, chunky, wonderful Chanel yarn that is so soft to use. Now I'm going to show you how to start the base. You simply make a loop and take your crochet hook, pull through, and you have just one stitch already on your hook. Now it doesn't really matter where you start. You can start anywhere. You just go through, loop over, and then pull your yarn through again. Like that. Put our tail to the back end, and that is in fact our first loop. Now we're going to keep going all the way around, and this time we're going to be putting 2 stitches in each hole. And here's another one. And now we have 2 stitches in the next hole. So you just keep going all the way around until you come back to the start. And I've gone a little ahead here, so I'm just on my last stitch and pulling through again. And then we put 1 stitch where we started again, so it also has 2. So now we have made our first round. Next down, we're just going to continue in the back loops only. So you don't go through both of your loops. You simply go through the back loops on this round. And what this will do, will just form a really nice line and angle for our basket so we can start working upwards. And going through the back loop here again. And one more. And I'm just going to go ahead so you can see what that looks like. So now we're actually going to start our moss stitch here. It will just give really nice pattern and nice texture. As you can see, the stitch markers here, I've marked them. The gray ones here are the regular stitches, and the pink ones are the deep double crochets. So what you do is just put your hook through. This one is just a regular double crochet, yarn over, and pull through. Next time, I want you to try the deep double crochet here. Go through and make a regular crochet. It's just a little bit longer. Gray one, regular double crochet again, and then we do deep double crochet. And that goes all the way back to our back loop only stitch. And what this does is going to give us a little bit of a zigzag pattern, and it will give us so much more texture in our bag. You can see these long ones here. These are our deep double crochets. And this sets up the pattern for our next round. And it looks a little like this when you've continued upwards. You can see here the long ones are our deep double crochets. It makes a lovely bubble texture. And on top here, I've just put 3 rows of regular crochet so you can see what that looks like as well. I mean, it's also fine to make the basket in single crochets, but this makes it just a little more fun. So what we have to do now is just hide our ends. And we just do that by going back and forth through our basket here. Put some stay stitches at the end. And of course, where we started off, that first long thread. So we just thread it through close as we can to the first stitches in the basket. And that's complete. So our basket part is actually finished now. And now we're just going to add our adorable teddy bear details. Now I've gone ahead here, I've done one ear already. And then I've put in just some yarn to mark where the eyes are going to go. It's directly from in line in the back. I'm going to be using 10mm safety eyes, and I have marked them because sometimes when you put one eye in, it's really hard to see which row that you've put it in. So put it in there, take out our thread, and then we're going to put on our back. And we just push it in until we hear the click, until it's really tight. And it's safety, and it's also safety approved for small children. Now you put the second one in, again, push the back and click. So our two eyes are now in place. So we're just gonna make our another ear. Now our ear again is based on 6 stitches in a magic ring. And then we simply increase out until we have our ear here. You can find the pattern again online. Just put in the end thread, it doesn't matter, we don't have to sew that in. And then align it with your eyes. Now what you want to do is you want to pin it so it's directly in the top of the basket. Just grab a stitch marker here. And then angle it downwards and put another stitch marker in there. We use stitch markers when we sew because sometimes when we sew, we know a piece can actually move around a little bit. So it's just a great way to help our alignment. Now because the ears are such a fun detail, I put extra stay stitches in the bottom of the ear and especially on the tops to keep them upward so they don't fall down. And also if you are giving this as a gift to a small child, I mean ears are one of those fun details that children love to grab first. So we just make them a little extra safe. There, and secured. One more stitch in the top here. So we can just hold it in place. Looks great. Now we're going to add our nose detail here. I've gone ahead and actually done it. It's just simply based on a circle. You want to grab some black thread and we're going to put on a little T in front. I like to use about 3 or 4 stitches just to give it some weight. So we go on the top here and we make a T on the bottom. We go almost to the edge, about 1 stitch from the edge. And again, I go through that 3 or 4 times. You don't have to be fussy about sewing in the end, simply tie them and place them in the nose. You won't see them anyways. Find a good position for it and pin them in place. Great, and then we just stitch it up so that part is complete. And I know it should sit relatively flat on our basket here. Now I'm going to show you how to do a simple pom-pom. I have some thread for tying. I got that ready in advance because I'm going to show you how to do a pom-pom based on 4 fingers. Width. Take your yarn and you simply begin to wrap and wrap. And wrap a little more, about 20-30 times around. Remember your fingers are also part of the width, but when you're happy with it, I take my crochet hook, I thread my tying yarn through just to pull it through, and I wrap it around the center. So when you feel that you kind of have the thread around the center, you can pull it off your fingers. And then you can wrap it around a few more times and make it really secure with a really good knot here. Now keep a long thread for sewing later. And we're just going to clip through all of our puffs. And we clip through all the loops on this side. It's going to look a little bit rough in the beginning, but that's fine. We just pull them all together and we give them a little bit of a haircut. And that looks fine. Now we're just going to sew them onto the basket. We use a thread that we were saving there. So we're going to just sew them from the outside in. Like that. And we go directly through the pom-pom so we can secure those threads again. Again, if it's for a child you want to secure it a little extra. And the pom-pom should just be a little bit above the edge of the basket. And then we just hide our threads in the end here. And we're done. So we have our wonderful nose and our squishy ears, and of course our pom-pom detail. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. You can find more free patterns on the Go Handmade website.